Next up on our favorites list is our pizza stuffed chicken breast. And this is a oldie but goodie on Dashing Dish. I'm pretty sure I made this recipe about, well, over 10 years ago, and it has been reigning in at the top 5 all of these years. So you have to try this recipe. For this recipe, we have a little over a pound, so about 1.5 pounds of chicken breast, a 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese, a 1/4 cup of marinara sauce. We have some pepperonis here and a little bit more marinara sauce and cheese to top, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna start by adding all of the chicken to a Ziploc bag. And you can buy the thin cut chicken breast, which takes this whole step out, which is honestly what I love to do. But if you are saving some money and are kind of shopping on a budget, those thin cut chicken breasts are a little more expensive, so that you can just do it yourself in your own kitchen with a meat pounder. You also want them to be about even thickness on each chicken breast, and that's when you'll know that they're about done, when you can roll them up and they're about even thickness, because you want them to bake through evenly. This is a great tool to have in the kitchen if you're stressed out as well. Trust me, I've used it many times. It really does release some of that stress. All right, so we're gonna take one of the chicken breasts and we're gonna put it on a baking sheet pan, and that way it's ready to go. You can add them all at once, but I like to do one at a time so it's easier to roll. And then I'm gonna add my filling to this bowl. It's just the mozzarella cheese, the sauce, and then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon of the Italian seasoning. And we're gonna do a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna stir that up. All right, so that looks good. Now we're gonna add it to our chicken breast. And all we're gonna do is, you can use a ice cream scoop or something to kind of scoop that out, but I'm just gonna use my hands. And you wanna put it on the thickest part of the chicken breast, and you wanna kind of tuck it in and roll it over the filling, just like that. Now, you could get some toothpicks out and kind of toothpick that chicken breast so it holds nicely, but I always find that if you put it seam side down, so like the seam is on the bottom, then it holds pretty nicely in the oven just like that. Now I'm gonna get out my next chicken breast and do the same exact thing. So if you're looking for a pizza recipe that is a little bit healthier, lower in carbs without all the crust, this is a great option for you. So we have these chicken breasts all stuffed. Now we're gonna top them with a little bit more sauce, cheese, and pepperoni, which is an optional topping if you don't like pepperoni. You know, my kids don't like pepperoni, which I can't imagine why they don't, but they don't. So I would probably just do cheese on, you know, one of these and then split it amongst them. So you can really do your personal favorite pizza toppings for these. But I can definitely tell you that I see why the favorites on Dashing Dish are the favorites. It's usually the recipes that, you know, kids and adults would like. And now that I'm a mom to 2, I can understand that. I am so tired of trying to make something different for Maddie and then something separate for me and Sean. I didn't really mind it as much when it was just Maddie that I was feeding, but now that I am feeding 2 kids, I can understand why moms just want to find something that everybody likes. It's much easier that way. And then we're just gonna top it with a little more cheese and, like I said, some pepperoni or your favorite pizza toppings. And this also ends up looking really pretty and delicious, which is another key factor when you're feeding your kids. They need to be able to look at it and say, oh, that looks cheesy and yummy, I want that. So we're gonna bake this 375 for 30 to 35 minutes until it reaches 165 degrees in the center. So you wanna stick that meat thermometer in the thickest part of the chicken and make sure it reads 165 or more. We're gonna pop these in the oven and they will be delicious.